Hello and welcome to Wild Heart Yoga Holistic Healing for today's Metal Element Yin Yoga class. We are going to begin today in a gentle, extended child's pose. So beginning sitting on your heels, knees slightly spread apart. Inhale as you lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, begin to gently walk the hands forward as the forehead reaches towards the mat. If this is hard on your knees, you can always try placing a pillow or a bolster between the thighs and the calves. And if your forehead is far from reaching the ground or it's a little too intense today, you can always place a block or a pillow under the forehead as well. So find the modification that works for you today. Inhale deeply into that low belly space. As you exhale, see if you can walk those fingertips a little bit further forward. Begin to feel a sense of grounding here. Inhale, inviting relaxation into the body. And exhale, feeling your body weight surrender to the mat beneath you. According to traditional Chinese medicine, the metal element is what governs our ability to take in life, inviting in what is good for us and letting go of the rest, making space for what is to come. So this class is going to be all about inviting in the newness, looking for open doors, taking in what is good for us, and letting go of everything that is no longer serving us. Learning to increase our threshold for distress tolerance. And we do that by breathing through these long poses. Yin classes are comprised of long holds that are held for 3 minutes or more in order to release the deepest layers of fascia and connective tissue where many emotions are stored physically in the body. So as we get into each pose today, go as deep into that pose as you can without causing pain. Some discomfort is okay, but if we don't want anything shooting or radiating. But once you find that area of tension for you and you find your edge in the pose, then find stillness there. Breathing in as you invite relaxation into the body. And with every exhale, letting go of resistance in the mind, in the muscles, in the fascia, surrendering to your mat. Now, if this child's pose feels intense enough for you as it is, then just stay right where you are. But if you'd like to go a bit deeper with me, they're going to interlace the hands behind the back, extending the arms, pointing the index fingers up toward the sky, deepening the stretch through the front of the shoulders here. Again, inhale deep into that low belly, that space between the belly button and the pubic bone. And sigh it away, imagining all the tension melting out of the body. Continue just a few more times like this on your own. If your hands are interlaced behind your back like mine, then go ahead and release them now, once again finding that regular extended child's pose position. Take one more deep inhale. As you exhale, begin to round through the upper body, coming into your tabletop. Inhaling as you drop the belly, head looking up, and sinking the hips back into the child's pose. 2 more times like this. Inhale. As you exhale, round forward, head following last. Inhale, dropping the belly, hips pressing forward as you look up. And sinking back to child's pose. 1 more time. Inhale. As you exhale, round through the upper body, dropping that belly, looking up, and taking another deep inhale as you sink it back to child's pose. Wonderful job. I'd invite you now to come up to your knees or maybe to seated, to just take a moment to look at me. The metal element deals with the large intestine and the lung meridians in the body, so I want to take a moment to just show you where those meridians run. The lung meridian begins at the thumb and comes all the way up the inside of the arm to the front of the shoulder armpit area. And the large intestine begins at our pointer finger on the palm side of the hand, then comes over the top of the hand, across to the elbow, up the back of the arm, then it comes back over the shoulder and up the sides of our neck. So this class today is getting deep into the shoulders and the arms in general. Let's begin our next asana now. Making your way into your tabletop, hands and knees, making sure the hips are aligned above the knees and the wrists below the shoulders. Then we're going to begin to gently walk the hands forward as we reach the forehead towards the mat, dropping that chest, that sternum, towards the ground. Go ahead and take a peek back, making sure your hips are still aligned over the knees. It's really easy to begin to lean forward in this pose and lose that alignment, so just check yourself here. See if you can identify where those areas of tension are for you in your unique body. Then inhale deeply, inviting the oxygen to move into that space. And exhale, sighing it away as you let go of more resistance, surrendering into this pose. The metal element is the only element found in nature that is completely still, that does not grow or move with time. So this element invites us to really dwell in stillness, slowing down, turning inward and reflecting on ourselves, and inviting new growth to come forth. The metal element is the season of autumn, a time when nature slows down, when leaves lose their trees and draw their energy back towards their centers. So I'd invite you right now to relish in this moment of stillness. Just stilling the mind, stilling the body, and letting go of whatever you don't need right now. Now again, if this pose is intense enough for you where we're at, then just stay right where you are. To take it up a notch though, we're going to bring the palms together and just gently bend at the elbows, bringing the hands over the head here in a prayer position. Just gently taking this stretch deeper into the triceps. If you notice that your mind has been wandering, then just gently invite your attention to come back to the breath once more. Once again, finding stillness for our last several moments in this pose together. Wonderful job. Take one more deep inhale. And as you exhale in your own time, go ahead and make your way onto your back with as little movement as possible. Relax those shoulder blades down and back. And just feel the echo of the pose while we're here. Noticing any change of sensations in the body or any shifts in the thoughts. Take one more breath. And in your own time, once more, make your way back up to sitting. Our next pose is going to be our shoelace with cow face arms. So we're going to begin by bringing the right leg over the left, bending at the knees. You can also get into this pose by starting on your knees with them crossed and then sitting back, just making sure you aren't sitting on your heels. If this is still too hard, then go ahead and extend that bottom leg, just making this a single leg shoelace. Or you can even just sit cross-legged since our focus is the upper body. So now we're going to reach our right arm over our shoulder, reaching to clasp with our left hand as it reaches behind our back here. Clasping those fingers. Inhale, finding a tall spine once more. As you exhale, go ahead and allow your head to drop toward the left. So the left ear is coming towards the shoulder here. Taking the stretch into our neck as well as the shoulders and arms. Inhale again into that dantian, that low belly space. And exhale fully, letting go of tension. Inhale as you bring your awareness back to your center. And exhaling, letting go of what no longer serves you. It can become really easy to become overwhelmed or consumed by specific thoughts or emotions that we have, often feeling like we don't have any choice over what is coming up for us. And that can often leave us feeling victim to whatever we're struggling with, and oftentimes very alone in those struggles. But in reality, we do often have more power over what we choose to focus on than we tend to believe we do. This is simply a matter of learning to train our emotions and our thoughts so that we can have our thoughts and emotions instead of them having us. Part of this is being able to reflect on what comes up for us and noticing how often we choose to think on that thing and why. What causes it to come up? And when you notice thoughts or emotions entering that aren't serving you in that moment, choosing to simply shift your focus to something else. This is why the breath is such an important part of the yoga practice, because it is one thing that is constant as we are alive that we can always draw our attention back to when we become distracted or overwhelmed with other thoughts. When we are focused on the breath, it is hard for the mind to be split in different places. So we train ourselves each time that a thought or emotion or something comes up that is not serving us in that present moment, that we choose to tune our attention and awareness back to the breath, training our brains to focus on the here and now so we do not become so easily lost in the past or the future. I'd invite you to reflect on this and to just notice your thoughts and what comes up for you for the rest of our time in this pose. Take one more deep breath. As you exhale, release the arms, unwinding the legs, and we're going to take this right to the other side. So this time, the left knee is stacking over the right. And again, you can get into this pose by starting on the knees or taking the single leg variation. Then we reach the left arm over the shoulder as it meets the right hand that's coming behind the back here. Clasping those fingers once more. Inhaling as you find length in the spine. As you exhale, allow that right ear to drop towards the right shoulder. Continue on this side as we did with the other side, just noticing your thoughts. Maybe practicing that ujjayi breathing as you draw the breath deep into the dantian and sighing it away from the back of the throat. This is one of the best breathing practices to help relieve anxiety and stress and to ground ourselves, as well as to go deeper into our poses, letting go of more resistance and finding a deeper release. So once again, tune in to what's happening for you for these next couple minutes and see how well you can direct your thoughts back to the present moment, back to the breath and the body, finding a blissful stillness for the next couple minutes. If your mind has begun to wander, this is your gentle reminder to just bring your attention back inward once more, back toward that center. Energy flows where attention goes. Just one more minute here. Great job, you guys. Take one more deep breath. As you exhale in your own time, make your way onto your back for another rebound. Again, noticing how sensations have shifted in your body or the activity in your mind. Feeling the echo of the pose that we just held. Now, in your own time, make your way onto your belly now for our open wing pose. So once you're on your stomach, we're going to bend our right arm at a 90-degree angle, cactusing it at the side of our body. Right cheek can be on the mat. Then we're going to press up with our left fingertips, peeling the chest off the mat. And you're going to bend that top leg, placing the foot either in front of the body or maybe behind. If you want to relax the left arm, you can also just place that behind your back. Here we're going deep into that right shoulder. So feel free to play around with this, taking any micro adjustments, moving the arm up or down slightly. And again, once you find those unique areas of tension for yourself, find stillness there. Drawing that fresh oxygen into those areas of tension. And exhaling as you allow it to melt away. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Inhaling deep into that shoulder area and exhaling fully, sighing that breath away. One more time, inhale deep into that dantian. And exhale, this time allowing the chest to come back toward the mat. And let's take it to the other side. So this time cactusing the left arm to our sides, left cheek on the mat, and begin to press up with those right fingertips, peeling the chest up once more, planting that right foot either in front of the legs or maybe behind, finding the variation that works for you. Maybe resting that right arm behind the low back. Don't forget to take any necessary micro adjustments here, finding those unique areas of tension for yourself, and continuing to bring your awareness to those areas with every inhale and with every exhale, letting go of all that's no longer serving you. The metal element reminds us to focus on balancing as a whole, maybe revisiting our relationship between seasonal changes, emotions, our health, lifestyle, and habits. Drawing that awareness back inward to your center. Life's always changing, so we must be willing to go with the flow, letting go of what's not serving us in order to see what is next for us. By learning to reflect in moments of stillness, turning inward, we're able to live life with more ease, learning to ride the current of its ebb and flow without resisting and getting caught up. This is not to say that we never experience any difficult emotions or disappointments or grief, but it's perhaps that we begin to expand our capacity to hold these things. Perhaps the difficult emotions do not shrink, but that we grow around them, being able to carry more than we were before. Finding balance in when to honor and reflect on our feelings, and knowing when to let them go and when to shift our focus. Great job. On your next exhale, once again, allow that chest to melt back towards the mat, just turning onto your back. For our final resting pose today, our Savasana. You're welcome to keep your arms at the sides, palms facing up, or if you'd like, I'd invite you to reach the arms overhead for our starfish, continuing to open up those lung and large intestine meridians a bit longer. Feel the rise and the fall of the belly as you ground here, relaxing the whole body, scanning from head to toe, and letting go of any remaining resistance. I'd invite you to stay even longer in the Shavasana today if you have time for it. But if you're ready to finish with me, then on your next exhale, gently turn onto your side for fetal position and make your way up to seated at the center of the mat for our final closing breaths together. Inhaling the arms up toward the sky, reaching the whole body tall. And exhale, hands to prayer, heart center. One more time, inhale deeply, arms sweeping overhead. And exhale, hands to prayer as you bow down and thank yourself for your beautiful practice today. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Metal Element Yin Yoga class. If you enjoyed this video, as always, don't forget to like it and subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with all of my latest classes. Thanks again, friends, and I will see you soon. Namaste.